In Upper Guck, the swamp monster legend had spread, filling the froglocks with a deep sense of dread. Only one mighty frog had yet to taste his defeat. The froglock Shin Lord had forced a retreat. "Well, Max," said Greench with a cruel trollish grin, "before we can challenge this Shin Lord again, we'll need to get stronger, find more foes to slay. We must head much deeper in this warren of caves." Max growled his consent and clacked his sharp jaws. Greench sharpened his weapons, his dagger and claws. "Tremble, ye frogs, in your fungus and muck. The swamp monster is coming for you in Lower Guck." Hey everyone, Future Sigil here. I wanted to give a quick note at the beginning of this video. All of this was recorded and edited back in March, and I never quite finished it. In the meantime, I got accepted into the Monsters and Memories beta test, and I have spent many hours in Monsters and Memories, playing almost every class, up to some level. I tried not to go too far. I didn't want to completely spoil the whole game for myself before early access, but I really wanted to get an idea of what I wanted to do when early access comes around in June. Feeling pretty good about that, so I'm going to kind of put that to the side, and I'm going to get back into Project Quarm and working on Greench and his challenge, Swamp Monster Challenge. We're going to get it done. There you go. Hope you enjoy. All right, here we are. It's been a minute, or a couple of months, maybe. We are back with Greench and Max today. So I haven't been idle in those months I've been away. I slowed down because of the holiday season, of course. And then got real busy with that. Had some work travel, had some family travel. Did a lot of visiting. Kind of backed my way out of making videos for a little while there, but got to see a lot of people. Got to have a lot of family time over the holidays. Of course, we're well past the holidays, and I still haven't made a video, but I haven't been idle. I've been actually gaming quite a bit. So I not both, but in Project Quarm, as well as several other games I've been spending some time in. So here in Project Quarm, I decided that since I wasn't going to record for a little bit, I'd kind of mess around on Crushdom, because Greench was catching up to Crushdom, and I was thinking in my head, well, Crushdom's always been my highest level character here on Quarm, so I'll push him up a little bit, and I'll keep him ahead. And I was having a good time playing him, so I took him out to Luckland, and I got a couple of groups out there and got him up to level 42. So not huge, but still a pretty good, 10 levels for him. Before I did that, though, I actually took him to Lower Guck, or Upper Guck. Took him to Upper Guck, and I ran him over there to where I was trying to kill the Shin Lord to get Ghoulbane. And I was real curious what kind of luck, or how well Crushtom would do there as opposed to Greench. So I actually was able to maintain that camp. With Greench, I'm not quite able to maintain that camp. I think that's where we left off, is I was trying to do the Shin Lord camp, and I'm not quite able to maintain the camp. Like, I can't do it and kill the Shin Lord. By the time I get everything clear and I can camp to the Shin Lord, I can get the Shin Lord to spawn. I can fight him all the way down to like 10%, but because I don't have any kind of snare or root, he runs far enough that the guys outside of in the beginning hallway have respawned, and they actually gang up on me and kill me. So I can't quite do it with Greench. I need to be able to kill a little bit faster. So we're going to come back to that after a couple more levels. So we'll get into the plan here. But with Crush at about the same level, I think they were both, or I think Crush was 36 and Greench is 34 like he is now. And at 36, Crush was able to just maintain that whole camp, because not just because he's maybe he's better geared over time as well, but he with that snare, because I can snare things and dot and then throw a KEI buff, you know, on top of that, I was just able to just keep my mana way up and life tap like crazy. And so it was a much different experience camping it with Crush. I think that even Greench with a KEI buff wouldn't be able to do too much more. Maybe with like a health buff, like if I could get like Ego or something. Maybe. But Greench is here in his swamp, and he's got to stay in the swamp, so we've got to stick to our limitations here. So I got Crush up, yeah, I took Crush out of Upper Guk. I forgot to say, I actually did get a Goldbane to drop for Crush. So Crush now has a Goldbane sitting in his bank, which would be good if I think part of the Shadow Knight Epic Quest, the Epic 1.0, is to, you need a Goldbane for it. I don't know that I'll pursue it on Crush or not, but hey, I've got it sitting in the bank. But again, I think Greench needs a couple more levels to get there to where he can maintain that camp clear and try to get that Goldbane. Now, of course, we're trying to do that with Greench because we have the in-game or the player-given quest to retrieve the Goldbane and the other blades of the Kings of Guk. Now, having said that, I've been away for a while, so I don't know if that quest still stands. We'll see if Minesweeper is still watching the channel after I took that very long hiatus. Either way, I think I'm still going to pursue it as if it were still on the table. If it's not, that's okay. No hard feelings there. I know I kind of stepped away for a long time, but if it's on the table, I'll keep shooting that as a goal, or I'll act like it's on the table and keep shooting for that as the goal. So that's where we're going to head with Greench today, is to head down and work on making some levels. Yeah, I worked with, got Crush up to 42. I'll probably show, I took some video of what he looks like right now, but he's got a new sword and he's feeling pretty good to play, and I'll continue on with him at some point. I made a new monk, a human monk, running around with some friends, people that I met playing over in Monsters and Memories on their playtest back in December. Met up with a cool group that will eventually form a guild in the live game for Monsters and Memories, and for me, that's probably going to be a pretty hard swap over to that game at some point. They go into early access. They release an early access in June 1st, and likely I will be playing a lot of that. I'm very interested in that game. We can get more into that later, but played over there in their playtests, made some characters. I probably can grab some video of what those guys look like too, but I've made several different characters up to just low levels, level 5. Done some of the. If I show my guys, you'll see a lot of them have this green beetle armor on them because it's pretty easy to obtain at those lower levels, or it's not super easy, but it's obtainable at low levels, so it works for a lot of classes. I got that monk up to 26, and grouping up with some people from that guild as they get into their 20s. We haven't actually really gotten together yet to do that. We've all been like playing different things and jumping around between games, but to be a good time. Monks, the monk's name, Monk is a new character that I hadn't made in Project Quarm. He was brand new, and I leveled him up there, named Catchin' Hands. So I thought that was a pretty fun name. So if you see me online as Catchin', I'll be running around as that guy sometimes. But probably the biggest thing I did, I made a bard, a half-elf bard out in Kelathin way back at the beginning, right around the time I made Crush. And I got him to level 13. His name was Madrick. And I was kind of looking at that guy, and I was like, well, I like bard. I played some bard in Monsters and Memories, and then I wanted to come play the bard back here in Project Quarm. So I picked him back up. He'd been sitting there level 13 for whatever, a year and a half, just sitting there on the server. Grabbed all my experience potions, and I started working on him. And then I joined a guild, and he is now level 60 and working on his epic weapon. So, as I said, I wasn't idle. I leveled up some low-level monk. I leveled up Crush a little bit more, who's just the long-term project. And then, as much as I was talking about trying to keep Crush as the highest level guy, my main guy on my account, well, Madrick is now level 60 and doing level 60 things. So that happened. If I had known I was going to just run them all the way up to 60 and group with so many people and spend so much time on it, I might have actually recorded some of it just as like for fun and shown it off. But that was all off camera, which is fine. It was a really good time. But today we're back with Greench. And I think we're going to go right to the entrance of Lower Guck up here. And just dip into here. This guy attacking me? Yeah. There's a few guys right at the entryway inside, and we'll work on those, and then we've got the zone line right behind us to dip out if we need to. So we'll get buffed up and get inside there, get buffed up, get some mana. Yeah, work on the camp. That's assuming. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this because this guy's going to run and pull 50 others. I'll just zone in. I was about to say that's assuming this guy actually dies and doesn't pull a bunch of guys. But that's that problem with the Beastlord. It's the challenge is the no snare thing. So when you're soloing, it can be frightening. And if you're in outdoor zones, it's not quite as bad. You can usually give yourself some space to do that. But in here, these tight hallways are detrimental to my health when it comes to runners. Let's see what else. Yes, there's that guy right there. Tried out. Well, let me get all buffed up and then I'll talk a little more. All right, so we're all buffed up, and I had Spirit of the Wolf when I came in. It must have worn off, but I can always, I won't need it right here. We're going to be right in this little area. I think this first pull is 2 guys, so I'm going to fully mana up. I feel like there's 2 right there or something like that, or maybe that's the next one that's 2, but I just want to be ready. I don't want to have to run out right away on the first pull, so let's get up to full mana, and I'll check back at that point, and we'll get moving. All right, we've got full mana. We're full buffs. We are going to head out. Some people came through here working their way down and killed these first couple of guys, but I think we can grab this one at the crossroads. There's one that either roams up and down this hallway or just kind of hangs out over here, so I want to be careful not to get him. And we're going to pull all the way back to the beginning, so I'm actually going to set Max up over here as his guard spot. And I'll draw this guy up using like Tainted Breath. Or Drowsy, I mean. And we'll bring him over here. And here we shall fight. So let's see what else. So I also tried out Final Fantasy 11. So it's one of those old MMOs I'd never played back in the day. I was very much into EverQuest back then, and then also jumped over to World of Warcraft when it first came out. So I never really got into Final Fantasy 11. Now I've played a bunch of 14 off and on, but never Final Fantasy 11. So I jumped in there, quickly learned that the controls are crazy unless you're using a controller. So I got everything set up and played some of that. I've only gotten to level 10 on there. I'm playing a Red Mage to level 10. So nothing big, but another one of those, learning experiences where you are reminded that these games back then in the day just had the wildest controls, right? Like, I don't know. But I know it was also made originally also for console, but it's very menu-based. It feels very older Final Fantasy menu-based, gaming. So that was pretty cool. I didn't really fight this fight very well. I stayed in there too long, and then I didn't put a dot on him. But, we'll get back in the swing of things here. We haven't been playing Greench for a while. So I've had that going on too. Not a big thing, and not something I'm probably going to pursue like long term or very full time, because it's fun, and I'll probably dip into it here and there and maybe slowly progress on it. But that's starting to spread myself a little too thin, because on top of all that, World of Warcraft Midnight came out, and I leveled up this. I had the early access this past weekend and leveled up my the character that's usually my main, my Demon Hunter, my Vengeance Demon Hunter to level 90. Might work on leveling a couple more. I'm not sure. My guild kind of went on a hard break the end of last expansion. In that last season, we barely had enough people to even field a raid. I wasn't raiding. I have a few real life friends that are in the guild, and nobody was really playing World of Warcraft. So I see more people online now, but I don't know if we're going to raid this, this first season of the expansion or not, or how quickly we're going to get into that. But that's also, another direction. So kind of spread myself out pretty thin in a lot of directions. I need to kind of bring that back into one path. I definitely am going to be getting back into Greench here, starting today, and kind of get regular on the, so there's a Shin Ghoul Knight down there. We should be good. Let's bring them up. These are nice. These are blues, which is perfect for us. So I was saying I want to get back to kind of the weekly. For a while there, I was getting out weekly videos, and things have settled down. Things are back to kind of normal. We're past all the busy season for work. Well, work's still busy, but the end of the year is a really busy time. We're past all that. Done with all the holiday travel. Settling back in for the end of winter and start of spring here, and got some months until the release of Monsters and Memories. So time to get busy on old Greench here and get him through his challenge. So the goal is to get at least level 50 out here. We might be able to push higher here in Guck. Otherwise, we're just going to head over to Kunark and find ourselves another swamp to level in. I think this is... Yeah, okay. This is my heal for max. Actually, let's do some stuff. Let's heal at max. Let's get... Gotta make sure I'm watching for when Drowsy wears off. And I also want to get... Oh, not Drowsy. I also want to get dots on these when I can. Although Max is doing a good job of fighting them down, so I'm not feeling too bad. That guy was 3% of the level, so that's not going to take too long to get to 35. I don't think we get any new spells till 39, but just being a couple levels higher and a bit stronger, it would be really really beneficial to us for getting... We get to that like 36, maybe 38 level. We head back over to the Shin Lord, pick ourselves up a Ghoul's Bane. Worst case, we have to wait till 39 when we get the new upgraded max. Like he's like onto something. He's kind of watching whatever it is. He's watching it move somewhere. But we get that upgraded max at 39, and at that point, I can't imagine we can't keep that camp with the Shin Lord. We were close as it was. So a new pet level would be crazy. I got some, let's see what else. I got some, I did get on here long enough. Somebody wanted to give me a couple of things. So what did I get? There were a couple upgrades. I remember if they're, Woo's Fighting Cap. So someone had wanted to give this to my monk, but I had a better helm. So instead they asked if they could give it to Greench here, so I took it. It wasn't a huge upgrade from what he had, but it's a little bit. I don't think. Let's see. I think most everything else we already know where it came from. Yeah, that's this armor. Yeah, all the rest. So, and then this polished steel Ulak, which I think is, yeah, this is a Luklin drop. It's considerably better than what we had. I've considered not taking it because it's not in era. But I went back and forth on that. We'd already taken this crystalline spider fang as a gift, so I guess for weapons, I'm not opposed to the gifts as long as they're coming here all the way into the swamp. That was kind of what I said at the beginning, was They come into my swamp, it belongs in my swamp, so I don't know, we might be flaunting or whatever you want to say, our own rules there. We might be pushing the borders of what we originally started out with, but it's all right. I think the location, staying in the swamps, is the biggest part of the challenge. And it's not like somebody brought me, you know, a fungi staff or something crazy to get mad regeneration or something. Just doing a little bit more damage myself when I'm attacking, and like even now, I'm just going to heal up a little bit and let Max mostly take care of this. So it's not adding a huge savings. You know, it's not simplifying the whole thing in any way. It's still a challenge. Yeah, a lot of different games going on, a lot of different trying out different things. Sometimes you get that feeling where you're like not settled with a game, so you kind of like go looking around for something new. It's kind of how I was feeling, so that's why I started branching out into other games. Did play I put a ton of hours into that. There was a weekend playtest for Monsters and Memories, and I've played in them before, and I've talked about it before, and it's like, it's a lot like Everquest in many ways, but it's just better and new, right? It's not like the same stuff we've been seeing all these years, so what's pet back? It's this one. I'm back here, Max. Alright, we'll get Drowsy up on this guy. Let's get some Tainted Breath and heal up our boy. The other one in the hallway halfway down the hallway should be spawning soon, I would think. Unless that was the roamer that they got. There were two in the hallway dead before this guy. So I'm guessing it could just be a roamer that came up there and they killed him when they were running by. Yeah, I think our plan will be, you know, just work this front hallway for a level, and maybe then things are going well, we can scoot down a little bit. If we go down and turn to the left, we can go down to the dead-end hallway that has some a few more spawns. If we turn to the right, it takes us down to where I think there's a 3 spawn that's going to be a little difficult for us to deal with for a while. So I think we're just up in this front hallway for a while, doing the old Everquest thing, camping it out, working on it. So once we get into Monsters and Memories, oh, okay, so this is probably the one they had killed up in the hallway, and then that's the other one there. I think we'll be all right. We can get this guy down. Gotta use that kick, that little troll kick. Some loots. Oh, we've got 2. I think this is just a zone situation. I don't want to deal with the death and starting over. I'll re-shrink us and we'll keep going. Max, you feeling chilly, buddy? Getting up there on the fire? Excellent. So I was saying, if I get into, there's a Monsters and Memories beta running from March to June, and they're giving away some access to that every week. The first week was this week, and I didn't get access to it, which is fine. Lets me do more productive things in life than no life of beta that's just going to get wiped anyway. But if I do get in there and I do end up playing in the beta and or I'll definitely be playing in early access, I will be planning on making videos for that. I have thought about streaming. I've never actually done live streaming. I don't know that I would be any good at it. I don't know if I can keep up with like a chat and actually play a game in any capacity, but you know, might be worth checking out. Maybe go live once and see how it feels, right? That's always the advice from people who have done it, is just do it. Just go live, you know, just give it a try. So why not? Maybe we'll do that for Monsters and Memories when it comes up. Might be kind of neat. Like I said, I've got in with a pretty good crowd that I think will have some cool things, and we're we're all similarly minded on and have a long gaming history with these kind of games and stuff. So everybody's kind of on the same page. I think it'd be a good group of people to hang out with. But maybe I'll get into streaming some of that. Kind of working on Greench here in the background as well, but we're making some Monsters and Memories videos, playing through some of that, showing it off, talking about news that comes up as far as changes and things like that. Be fun to lock into a game at the beginning and make some content for it and hopefully help out other players that want to come try it out or just generally a good time. It's usually awesome to interact with anybody that has watched any of these videos like Greench. It's really cool to run into them and interact with them in game and have the conversations outside of game. I really enjoyed that a lot. So I think a lot of the audience that is interested in something like Monsters and Memories is going to be people that I would really enjoy talking to and hanging out with. Usually most of the community here on Project Quarm is incredible. Like, I'm always surprised when people are just giving of their time or whatever to help out. It's pretty cool. And I think there's going to be a lot of that in that same... Oh, that guy brought a little train with him. Okay. Let me get out of here. I shouldn't have turned that corner, that's for sure. We will meditate here and give that a second to clear up. Oh, is this guy Prius? Oh, he said sorry. I didn't get a chance to say something back, but he said sorry. Anyway, I don't know if anybody watching this is interested in something like Monsters and Memories. Speaking of games like that, though, or similar games in development, Agilent Online is having a playtest coming up. I think it's April 1st. Yeah, April 1st through the 6th. You can get in there and play that for free and give that a try. It's a very cool game. I don't know that, if I had to pick one or the other, and I think I kind of do just with the amount of time that I'll probably put into a new game, is I'd probably go with Monsters and Memories, or I will go with Monsters and Memories at this point. Agilent looks really cool, has a lot of cool systems and stuff. The overall kind of graphic feel of it, the aesthetics of it, don't catch me as much, although I think they're very well done for what they are. They're like Minecraft-ish, but much beyond Minecraft graphics. Or maybe if you've played Hytale now, they're Hytale-ish, although they were out there first. Actually, I have no idea what the development timeline of those two games. I don't know who was first, but very similar to that. And then, but very smooth. Like, it's so well done. Their movements are really good. The interactions are good. It's a great game. No downside to either one of those games. I think for me, I've been really in deep talking to the Monsters Memories team. I actually started, there's a forum on their Discord that I was in one of the live streams talking to one of the developers, and we ended up on that live stream making the fishing forum to talk about how to do fishing. So I've been contributing to the fishing community of Monsters and Memories, and just kind of invested in the development stream and in the development team and the way they're doing business and how open and upfront they are and how they haven't asked us for any money, and they won't ask for any money until the game's playable, and just the whole mentality there of that kind of thinking is quite amazing, especially after we just saw what the other side of that looks like with Ashes of Creation, right? It can get pretty gross pretty fast. So having a team that so far has asked nobody for any money, is pretty much working on a volunteer basis, putting this together. Not pretty much. They are working on a volunteer basis, putting all this game together and being super open with all of their costs and all their time. And most of the devs stream and do their work right on stream, at least for part of the day. Just the whole way they're approaching the thing has made me a big fan. Which is why I'm here playing Everquest and talking about Monsters and Memories, because it's such a good game. All right, But let's get back to Everquest, which is also a good game. I just don't... Anybody who's watching this channel to see an Everquest video probably doesn't need to be convinced that Everquest is a good game. We all know. Ooh. All right, well, let me punch this guy a little bit then. Got to get him with that kick. I don't know if I can get a good angle with the way my UI is set up with this wall right here. Kick. Oh, got no graphic on that one. Oh, I'm targeted on Max, so that's why you're not seeing anything. Yeah, there it was. So let's see what we got going on. Yeah, we're doing all right. Already up past 20%. This will be what, 26, 27, 27. Yeah, this won't be bad at all. I can look around. So we go down there. That's the slippery hallway that leads to like the three spawn down there, and then this way. Oh no, this is the slippery hallway. Sorry, this way leads to more guys. Which I'm gonna leave Max upstairs for that kind of thing. There we go. There's a guy spawned here at our hallway anyway. We'll bring him up with us. We get Max up here and we'll grab that guy and give him a shot. Alright, oh, I got stunned for a second. Max is coming. Let's bring him back. Bring him back. Come on, Max. Okay, well, I guess we're fighting right there. Oh, because I put his I put his leash right there, his guard spot right there. Not back by the doorway where I had it before. Just kind of trying to stay out of this guy's way while he's trying to res over there. Alright, we'll knock this guy down. That's a perfect spot. Like Gold Knight's just waiting. Yeah, we're gonna pick him up, but that's okay. There we go. Max got a proc on that guy. Get drowsy. We'll back him up. Gotta be careful we don't have that spawn right on top of us. Let's back up and throw Tainted Breath while we have mana. We'll get in the fight. I'm still loving the whole troll Beastlord thing. So since Lookland came out, we do have the cat people. You want to say Kieran's, the Vashir. We do have those guys, so you could do Beastlord, and I think they look so cool at high levels with their gear, and they're kind of big, and their pets are cool. So that I will give that to those guys. They do look cool, but nothing looks quite as ridiculous and as swamp monstery as old Greench. Hanging out, scratching his butt. You know? Good shit. Good stuff. Alright, let's bring Max back up over here. We got a guard here. And we will wait on the next spawn. Alright, I'm going to grind this out for a while. Maybe I'll do a little leveling montage, but we're going to, again, the plan is to stay kind of here in this hallway, work our way up to probably 36, and once we get 36, go and give the Shin Lord area another try. So maybe here in this video, I'll push my way up there, and we can set up for our next video to be the attempt at the Shin Lord again. Might come back in and record a little more voice, but we'll see. I think if nothing else, I want to get a video out this week. So if there's not a lot to talk about, then I won't bother. Or apparently I'll come in and talk about Monsters and Memories the whole time. Something like that. Yeah, let me know if any of you are interested in if you're going to be playing in the playtest on April 1st for Agilent Adventures. Let me know. I might jump in there. Be cool to. I've never grouped up in that game at all. So what would be neat was to, since it's like 6 days long, it's enough to get up into the lower level grouping. And I'd love to get in a group in that game and just run around a little bit. Definitely gonna play it. I'm always gonna keep my eye on the new thing that's coming. So I'll definitely be trying it out. I don't know that I'll record any video or not. I don't know what their rules are on the play tests as far as streaming or recording. But I think it'd be really cool to try to set up, once Monsters and Memories is released, to try to set up kind of a regular night, maybe one night a week of streaming and hanging out with anybody that's interested in chatting with me. See what we can do. And Minesweeper, if you're out there, sorry I made you wait so long, bud. Hope I know that you were listening to these and watching on your commutes. So hopefully I can fill up some of your time again. All right, let's montage. Dance the rock, 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 do rock and roll, come on. Well, tonight's the night we're gonna dance a little rock and roll, rock and roll. Tonight's the night we're gonna blow the speakers out. Boop, boop, I want y'all to do the twist. Come on, I want y'all to do the twist. Come on, rock, 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 should do me rock and roll. Yeah, yeah. All the bad girls and the greaser boys in the house. The Soxers and the Teddy boys rock and roll. All the rockabilly girls, I want you on the dance floor now. Let me tell you why. 'Cause tonight's the night we're gonna twist the whole town round. Wow, wop, bop, bop. Show some love for the cool cats in the scene. Cool skirts and the jukebox playing loud. Hot rods and leather coats, 'cause we be swinging on Saturday nights. Let me tell you why. 'Cause tonight's the night we're gonna twist a little rock and roll. Well, tonight's the night we're gonna dance a little rock and roll, rock and roll. Tonight's the night we're gonna blow the speakers out. Boop, boop, I want y'all to do the twist. Come on, I want y'all to do the twist. That's right. Come on, rock, 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 should do me rock and roll. Yeah, yeah. All the hip cats and the doo-wop boys in the groove. Polka dots on the boppers moving smooth. High school kings and queens, and we be shaking to the beat. Let me tell you why. 'Cause tonight's the night we're gonna rock this whole place down. Booty boo. All the jukebox jobbers, rebels in the scene. Penny loafers on an only one place to be. I want y'all to do the twist. Come on, I said I want y'all to do the twist. Let me tell you why. 'Cause tonight's the night we're gonna dance a little rock and roll. Well, tonight's the night we're gonna dance a little rock and roll, rock and roll. Tonight's the night we're gonna blow the speakers out. Boop, boop, I want y'all to do the twist. Come on, I want y'all to do the twist. All right, here we are. We made it to 36, and I headed back over towards the start of the area for the Shin Lord. So as promised, we are going to work our way through here and see if we can break the camp, and then see if the little bit of power we gained from 34 to 36 will give us enough to actually take down the Shin Lord, and see if we can get that Ghoulbane. In the couple of days here that between last recording and this recording, I have picked up some little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little off or worse for wear, or you hear me sniffling a little bit, that is that's what's going on with that. Hopefully it won't be too bad. My voice is a little bit scratchy, but I was pretty excited I got to 36, and I wanted to come give this a try tonight before before I wrap it up. So I thought I would hit record here, and we'll break our way into here and see what we can do. I'm going to shrink us both down. I just logged in, so I'm going to shrink us both down, and we'll start working our way through. I don't know yet if I'm high enough that these guys won't attack. I am going to guess that at least one of them, I can't remember which one's higher, probably the Ton Warrior, like either the Ton or the Gaz is a higher level, and they will probably attack even though they're both green. But maybe I'll run up there and see what happens. I'm gonna try to run. Okay, so that answered that question. The Ton Warrior is still very aggressive, so we'll just get our slow on them both here, and shouldn't be much of a fight since they're green. Got to watch for that Pather coming in, just causing some chaos on us, but I'm gonna try to get some mana up while we do that. Our goal will be the same as last time I was down in here with the Shin Lord, where I kind of cleared to that one room, and I could safely stay in that one room and med up and everything, and just keep the mob in that room clear. What I'm going to try to do is keep everything cleared from the Shin Lord room out past the mobs that are kind of behind the counter looking thing in the hallway, because that's where he at least runs that far and ends up picking up those ads, and maybe even the next one's a little further up in the hallway, because last time I was in here, I would pick those up when the Shin Lord would run. So I will see what I can do. The just question is just, do we have the juice to keep up with all of those spawns, right? Can we kill fast enough that we can keep all those spawns down? Alright, so the Gaz Knight is not attacking here, so that's good. We can run past him. We'll have the Shin Shaman in here. So I shouldn't have to clear this guy. I don't think the Shin Lord was making out this far, so once he's down once, I shouldn't have to worry about, keeping him clear. It's that curse of no snare, no roots. I'm doing the best we can with it. So I also don't know if someone's already in here camping this, so it may be that we clear into here and there's already someone camping in. If that's the case, then, well, if that's the case, you may not ever hear this recording that I'm recording right now, because maybe I'll just start it back up later. But usually I can see kind of combat spam from anybody in that room, just even as close as I just got, so I didn't see any of that. So it could be that they're in there, but maybe they're not fighting currently. We'll give it a look here. So these guys are pretty easy for us to kill. It's just if we're picking up 5 of them while chasing the Shin Lord, it's going to be a real pain. But these have been much easier to kill than the first time, when we came here originally. Let me double check. All right, so I'm missing my Spirit of Bear, but it looks like Max still has it. So let's go ahead and rebuff that. And then in a couple minutes we'll get Spirit of Strength back up also. Just being aware that mana's already at 50%, so we want to try to keep up with, or make sure we're getting some mana back between all these things. Oh, I didn't mean to cast Shrink. I meant to cast. Wow, I can't believe that's still cast and took the mana after I moved. I should have jumped or ducked. Okay, we've got Spirit of Bear going. We're going to med up to 50 or 60%. And then we'll continue clearing. Actually, honestly, we probably don't need to. Let's just get these 2 done. Get Max in there. Get them both slowed. So these 2, I might need to clear, and the 2 behind them. For the path of where the Shin Lord runs. Although we're doing more damage now than last time, so it might be possible that we are able to just, keep up with it and burn him down before he gets too far. All right, I had to actually step away mid-combat there. I don't know if you could hear it in the background, but my little dog was hanging out in the room with me, and then she went to the door and was growling at the door because she wanted to go out. And she is an old lady, so I don't make her wait if she wants to do something usually. So in the middle of that combat, I had to mute my microphone, jump over, and let her out of the room. She just kind of wandered off down the hallway, so I need to listen. Sometimes she wanders off and then just wants to come right back in. So I will listen for her. We'll just get a few more %. And again, these should both be green, so it shouldn't be too hard. They're Ton Knights, so they're slightly higher than the Gaz. But overall, this fight's been really easy. I only had to heal Max once there, so much better than last time we were here. So Max is good. Can't see that guy, so I'm going to send Max in. And then I'm going to back him up so that I can actually cast on these guys. There we go. Get some slows out there. And I could put dots on them, but I think I'm just going to hold off on that. Let Max work on them. Maybe I'll dip in there when they get low, but just try to continue to try to push mana back up. It's a good question. Like, would a dot make them die faster so I wouldn't have to heal Max? Yeah, I don't know. He's working on them, though. We got one at 90 and one at 68. It'd be cool to see what we can do in here because it's been a long time goal now to get in here and get this done. I think to break the room, if it's not already broken, if someone's not already in there camping it, or if someone hasn't just left, we'll need to be fully buffed. We're going to want full mana, full health. So we may have to do a couple rounds of just kind of clearing to kind of get ahead of everything and then go in and break the Shin Lord room, especially if the Shin Lord himself is up. That would be a more difficult break overall. Let's see, does he still have... He has a Spirit of Inferno, but we need to get Spirit Strength back up. Get that going. I'll put it on to Max first. And obviously throw him another heal. He's got one of them down. That's good. And then Spirit Strength on myself. Yeah, this... I mean, I came in here with 30% mana, and I've slowly gained. I just now did a rebuff, so we're a little lower. But the fact that we're able to kill these without, a lot of struggle is a really good sign that we can do some much better job. But see, this is the problem. When they run, they make it so far. And these aren't too bad, but when we get to the ones that have, much higher health, it's gonna... becomes a problem because we can't kill them fast enough, and kind of hoping for like those lucky procs from Max and whatnot. I do want to spread these out just a little bit, so I'm gonna each time I'll med up to get a little bit back, and we're gonna come up on needing turtle skin again too. So I'm stuck with malaise on me, but let's go ahead and med and memorize turtle skin and get ready for that. So I'll need this guy, I'll need this guy, and then I'll need everything in the room. I'm going to go into this room over here on the side where I've hung out before, and I'll kill that guy in there, and just to kind of to hold the room. Okay, so we're at 40%. Let's pull this guy back. Hopefully we don't get any others. And I should be able to get a little ahead on mana here. This is one of those things, like if I went to Nexus, if Greench could go to Nexus and pick up KEI and Ago, he'd be doing wildly more damage down here, right? Or at least have the ability to stay in more. That is part of the Swamp Challenge. Actually, interestingly, not a part of the Swamp Challenge that I thought of when I started it, because Luclin, we talked about this before. Luclin wasn't out yet, right? So it was the early start on Quarm for the Beastlords. So that like Nexus wasn't even an option. You know, honestly, I've always really liked the look of the Vashir Beastlords, but you know that wasn't even an option when I made Greench. It was just the other races because the Vashir weren't out yet, which is all good because I think the whole idea behind Greench turned out really well, and I think we'll have some good swamps to head over to in Kunark. The question is, on our journey, do we stop and get some cool stuff along the way? Well, what I really want to get, I want to get into Lower Guck further, and I definitely want to get some of the toys from there, the cool bags and the mask, and you know we'll be in there for a long time, so we'll be picking up a lot of stuff. If we're gonna head to Kunark, I'm wondering if it's worth making on the trip, call it part of the trip, swing by and do it. You know, head over there before it's too high up level and maybe try to pick up the box of Abukar just as a long-term thing. Although I could loot it with somebody else later and pass it over, but I think it'd be really cool to pick that up. Not as and that wouldn't be a leveling thing. It would just be like, go in there, stay as long as needed to, you know, pick up that loot and then get out of there. So, but that would have to be like on my way to somewhere else. So I'd have to pick one of the swamps out there to go to. And I don't know that I'll be able to, that I'll want to leave Guck before then, right? Because I can go well past 50 in Guck and Lower Guck. So, and you can't loot the box of Abukar past 49. In fact, 49 is difficult because you've got to get the highest level spawn of the skeleton in the basement. I looted it at 40 or 39 with Crush down there, and that wasn't bad. But, you know, so somewhere around there, I have to question if I wanted to try to make a trip out there or just something I deal with later, or if it even matters. It may not even matter. You know, Greench is pretty strong. He's carrying all regular backpacks, and you know he goes over loot, or goes over weight after loot. I cannot speak. He gets overweight after looting a bunch, but he can still carry quite a bit of treasure and has quite a bit of strength. So it's not as vital. All right, we've got a Shin Knight, a Ton Knight, and a Shin Warrior in there. Yeah, so in order to break that, I think we're really going to need to do... I think we're going to need to get full mana, full health, probably do another round of clearing everybody else, and then get in there and try to give it a shot. Nobody else is camping it, which is exciting, but we will we'll met up and do another round, and maybe I'll kind of skip forward on that, and when I'm ready to break the room, we'll skip forward to that point and we'll give it a shot. I'm thinking, are those guys all light blues? I think they're all going to be light blues, right? Okay, so the Ton Knight is blue and the others are light blues. So yeah, that's a tough fight for us, to be honest. It's a tough fight. Unfortunately, we don't have a good way to like burn somebody down quickly. I could, my skill's not very high in evocation, like 45. So trying to do like nukes on one is gonna be a pretty tough call. Pretty high order, pretty tall order, if you will. So I'll have to think about it here. All right, gonna med up, gonna clear another round of guys, and then get ready for the room, and I'll see you there. All right, we're basically full health, full mana. I just finished a re-clear of the whole area, and we're feeling pretty good. Buffs are up. Make sure Max has his Spirit of Inferno. He does. So we are going to go in. I don't have much of a tactic here other than, you know, Max tends to switch targets as like crazy. So the best bet might be to pull him out here and fight out here a little bit where I can have some room to move around and try to get to a side where they're not going to all beat on Max and all beat on me at the same time. So we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to start by just slowing this Ton Knight and see what happens. If we can spread, it didn't really spread them out, but let's get slows across the board. We've got the Wonton Knight, we got the Shin Knight, and we got the Shin Warrior. So Max is working on this Ton Knight. I'm gonna see if I can get into where I can just hit this Ton Knight. There we go. The others aren't hitting me, which is good. And what we'll have to do once we break this is we'll have to really pay attention and grab the respawns as soon as they come up. Ooh, getting this heal in there's going to be tight. I might try to, let me try to put Max back on this one. So I can keep him on this Ton Knight. I'm going to back out again. I'm going to get this heal. Okay, I'm going to throw Tainted Breath on the other guys. Hit him another heal on Max. Really hoping we can get... I was really hoping we get that Ton Knight down. I can't... Yeah, see, they're... Two of them are turning to attack me when I get in there now. If I do a little bit of damage, then I'll have to back out again. Hit Max with another heal. Alright, got some. Got him down a little bit. Alright, Ton Knight is down, so we got one down. Now we're kind of splitting the spawn, because any amount of time we spend on these others is time between the spawns. Okay, Tainted Breath wore off. I'm going to go ahead and hit them again. I just don't want to mess around too much here. I want to make sure we get them down. Oop. That guy did not like that. Alright, let me help finish this guy. We get this one on Max. As soon as he gets a Spirit of Inferno proc, it'll swap back to him. I hit him with the heal. And then we will med and mana up again. And yeah, see, we're already going to have to re-clear these guys. So as long as we can keep this whole area clear. Here, this is a good example of what I'm talking about with the Shin Lord. So he'll make it all the way out to like out here, and he'll pull everything along the way. So we definitely have to keep everything clear. But we were able to break the camp, which is very good, very good. I'm still going to park in here simply because this is a safe spot if I have to step away or something. Nothing aggroes me here, but I've got to do some, got to get all medded up and healed back up, and we'll keep working this. Everyone, Sigil here. Hopefully you've been enjoying the adventures of Greench and Max, and we are getting back after it, so if you'd like to see more, please hit those YouTube buttons. You'll be alerted when the next one comes out, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.
Level up, let's rise and play through the night and into the day. From the pixels to the stars above, gaming together with